I've been at this for a while today, and we are getting down to the point to where games are starting to start. So let me go ahead and get you guys this Pac-12. I got Arizona going under 5 plus 100. Yeah, their last season. This is the Pac-12's last season. Very sad, because this is my home conference, and it's sad to see this conference go. But you know what? I saw the Raiders have to move back to Oakland, then move to Las Vegas. I saw the Browns have to move to Baltimore. So you know what? Things that I had that were some of my favorite stuff, they've already left me in football, so I'm used to it. So pretty much, you have Arizona under 5 plus 100. You have Arizona State under 4.5 plus 105. Both those teams, to me, are going to be putrid this year. ASU has a true freshman starting at quarterback. Arizona probably has a 32-year-old janitor starting at quarterback. I don't know, but both those teams are very, very irrelevant to the big picture of what's going on in the Pac-12. I feel like those teams are going to build themselves up to be more efficient in the Big 12. They know that the time in the Pac-12 has ended, so it's just get through the season. Cal, on the other hand, Cal has a lot to play for because Cal is a team with no home right now. All they got is the Pac-12, and that's it. And pretty much, they probably will want to play a bigger factor in the outcome of the conference as well too. It was a beautiful sight to see Cal get to the promised land somewhat a few years back out the blue. A lot of people didn't see it coming, but they've been able to make some strides over at Cal quietly. And I feel like Cal this season is better than a 5-win team. So you got to look out for Cal. Cal, it looks like they're a team that's going to be on the up and up, especially when you got to go play them at Berkeley. And then you have Colorado, and it's the Dion show, and everybody Dion. 3.5 wins with the talent that they have should not be a problem in getting these guys to the pinnacle of 4 wins. I think that they're a 5-win team, to be honest with you. They're going to be okay, but Dion is getting a grace period this year because they don't expect much from Colorado. But Colorado has the talent with a guy like Travis Hunter and Shadir Sanders to where they've won college football games. So I don't see them being as bad as the odds makers want them to be. But we know Colorado was just a horrible team last year. But the over 3.5 plus 125 feels really good. Also, Oregon over 9.5 plus 110. Oregon is sneaky good to me right now, and that 3-1 to win the championship is a very, very profitable play in my opinion. But I didn't pick them to win the conference, but that 3-1 is nice. Then we got Oregon State. Oregon State is a team that's going to be the dark horse in this conference. I feel like Oregon State could absolutely win the conference. A lot of people should not sleep on what they got going, and I think that possibly the Oregon State game, the Apple Cup, will be not that. Was it? No, not the Apple Cup. That's the one in Washington. Whatever. But the Civil War, yeah, that's what they call Oregon and Oregon State. So pretty much, I think the Civil War might come down to who wins. That could be the representative in the championship game because Oregon State finished with the flurry last year, and they looked like a top 10 team when they beat the brakes off of Florida in the Vegas Bowl last year. I'm going to keep it real, Then you got UCLA over 8.5. I feel like UCLA, this is going to be Chip Kelly's best group ever. And they're going to be the group that puts everything together the right way. And I feel like this is a 10-win team or better. Honestly, I truly do. USC, I feel like they land right at 10 wins. I feel like USC got a couple losses in them this year, to be honest with you. I feel like Caleb Williams is going to be putting too much pressure on himself, and I don't know if that defense has really made the improvements that they truly need to make to be a sufficient unit. Now we got Utah. Utah, you know what? Utah will probably regress this year. I know they're bringing back their quarterback and everything like that, but I feel like a regression's in place, and they look like a really good 8-4 team. Let's just keep it real. I feel like they're a good 8-4 team. They're going to have their issues with UCLA, USC this year, Washington, and Oregon. I feel like they're not going to beat those teams this season. So that's where I'm going with that. And pretty much we end up with the Washington schools. And I like Washington to go under 9.5, but I like them to land on 9. I think 9 is a perfect number for that team. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And we have Wazoo. Wazoo is probably one of the more, quiet under the radar teams, but we all know going to Pullman is going to be tough business for everybody who pulls up over there. So them being a 7-5 team is very possible. So I do like them with the over 6 minus 105. So with that, we have ourselves one last conference to talk about, okay? And that's going to be the conferences of conferences. But first, who wins the Pac-12? And I have none other than the UCLA Bruins winning at 14-1. I'm taking a swing. I'm taking a swing. I feel like UCLA in their final season in the Pac-12 surprise everybody and win themselves a Pac-12 title on the way out. And they beat USC in that Pac-12 title game. How about that? Because it's open. They don't have divisions anymore. It's the best 2 records at the end of the year. So if they were to play each other, that would be absolutely epic to finish up the Pac-12. And it finishes up with the 2 teams that pretty much ended the Pac-12. So with that, let's go ahead and move forward. And I'm going to be moving fast on this one. I know all my SEC people probably going to get mad at me about that, but it's 4:00. Let's go ahead. I got a whole other segment to talk about, so I got to move. We got the East Division, Florida under 5.5, plus 125.